It's like a corn maze, except that instead of like corn, there's like a lifeless wasteland, and instead of a maze, it's kind of a giant open area that's hard to find things in for totally different reasons. What are we fighting over here now? But again, I do appreciate the unique aesthetics of the place and so forth. And just a little bit of it goes a long way, and we get a lot of it. Okay, they're just mysteriously impossible to throw around. Oh no. But that's like... Wow! Thank you. I'll take it. Where did he go?
Fell off.
Huh. But he survived, unfortunately. Well. No. I think I'll equip my shout.
Fire! Nice shortcut.
Yep. I'll probably resummon here. I wish my summons would stay in melee to burn damage these guys, but that's just not the way the action works. So, I'd lost track of where it was exactly with Serana.
Me too.
I'm looking for some kind of site that probably had... Yeah, I probably was close to it before with all the Mistmen, because it's the Mistmen tome, right?
Yeah.
If I could just remember where I fought the Mistmen, maybe we'd be in business. Not that.
Okay,
this
but
is the
that's
keeper spot. So if I head south.
Yeah. And a little bit to the east, but mostly south. I see mist on the ground.
That must be it. There's like a weird little altar thing up there. So that's legit. Oh, there are more of them over here? Come on, guys. Up and at 'em. Geo journal. And conjure mist. So, if I want to make my very own weak guys who cast only weak spells, instead of strong guys who cast strong spells like the Astronaut, but also just burn damage, I could now do that. But they're the same spell level, so it's never ever worth considering. These guys even give more XP, so like they're not even good for keeping the level down. Alright, so now we just have to find Arvak's skull, right? That's the last objective in the area?
Yeah, I might head back west to the path again. It's so much easier to keep yourself orientated on that. And the Aardvark is just south of a turn on the map.
These people, I guess, like warming themselves around this whatever soul thing it is. I'm not talking. Fine, I never liked you guys anyway.
Maybe they're so old they don't speak your language.
Well, there's the path. I'm kind of curious what's going on over here with these guys. Oh,
yeah.
Arvak's skull.
This is just to the south of the turn on the map.
Oh no! Repeated frost damage. Oh. Wait, no, it's just all of these guys. Refuel me. Please. The determines issues generic melee attacks against Serana for some reason. Are they like Mistmen with no spells uniquely? Generic claw attacks? Oh, there we go. Okay. It's like, instead of running out of spells and resorting to melee, they like ran out of melee and resorted to spells. Good. So, Arvak's skull. Now I just need to find the guy and return the skull. Conveniently, he's right nearby.
Arvak! You saved him!
Actually, his soul is still stuck in this bizarre dimension that I apparently can't take people out of, or I would probably bring you guys with me.
Here, I'll teach you how to call.
So I teach you a new summon spell. Lets you summon Arvak whenever, pretty
He'll help
much.
you get around this
You want to ride
place.
horses,
But I'm sure
which you
you'll
don't
be
really
much
want to do.
happier someplace sunny.
Horse riding is terrible in this
Goodbye,
game.
hero. Take good care of Arvak for me. Such a good horse.
He is a pretty stylish horse, at the very least. unlike in Oblivion, I don't think horses have different speeds or anything useful like that. So, nothing special about Arvak. I think it's just like a flaming maned undead horse. It's like in like the metal version of that awesome game, Robot Unicorn Attack. I am so good at that.
I don't think I've ever heard of that game.
I'll have to show you later.
Sounds good.
So, I've collected Arvak's skull. So now I'm heading down toward the road, I guess, where there's just a bunch of stuff to do.
Yep.
Oh, we never talked to Morvan's Shroud, did we?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to head south and hope to hit... Or actually, I guess I should head, like, west and hope to hit the road. And then follow the road into that region.
Lost!
When the road itself is the land.
Yep. That was an arrow flying overhead, wasn't it?
Was it? I didn't see.
Maybe not. But this is the road. Dragon skulls here, inexplicably.
Lost!
We'll later on find out there's only like one dragon who really did a thing here, so... okay, so I'm heading south along the road, so we should meet Jube along here somewhere.
Yeah. So as you're heading south, it'll fork at some point. At that point, you want to turn right.
Nope, I hear music, but she's not engaging in anything. And there's undead over there, I guess.
Just kill the keeper.
Well, I'm leaving the road now, but I'm heading due south towards... I'm not sure what.
Lost!
Towards a lot of undead.
Yes, and probably a keeper, it seems, from quest marker. Yep, Arvak's pretty far start that. So. Okay. Oh, wait, no, that's a good thing. Keep firing those at me. Thank you. Not the claws. Oh, there's the... Oh! I don't want to be stuck when that gets bearing down on me. I think I need to take out some of the herd here. I also should probably restore my health. In case of any mishaps, so the keeper ambushing me in some way. Are you gonna give me more mana now? Thank you. Kind of. That one has a bow? That's rare. There's just somebody else around here.
I don't think I've ever seen a beast with a bow.
Me either. Luckily this bone man is pretty fragile. Alright, well let's Serana handle this for the time being while I just heal up and kind of wander around, see the sights. Oh, I guess these people being drained? Is that like soul energy or whatever? Okay, that's fine. How these keepers fit into anything I'm not really sure about. I don't think there's anything similar in Battlespire, at least not that I remember. I will confess that Battlespire is not a particularly memorable game, which is why nobody's ever heard of it. Everybody played it, they just forgot about it. It does at least have a cool looking weapon, right? And it's still just another generic melee attack, but, you know. Again, points for some effort. I do appreciate the effort in this game. So, we've cleared out all of those guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things left to do in this region.
So if we head due north, we could get that gem.
Let's do that, because those are hard to keep track of.
Alright.
And then maybe head west for a brief detour to Morvan's Shroud from there, if I remember correctly where he is.
Sounds good.
Lost!
Should collect a few more soul husks along the way. I need several of those. Haven't really been counting how many I have. So I've been going north, and that's the right direction, right?
Yep.
This is probably the place in question.
Lost!
Alright, now I just need to find our way into this place. Well... stairs to nowhere. Ah. Hope I'm not jumping into an ambush up here. Excuse me, just gonna loot all your stuff hoarded up over the millennia. Thank you. I'll be going now. So, where's the next objective? Just due west from here?
Yep. If you wanted to go a little bit south as you're going west, you'd probably hit the road and be able to follow it to Morvan.
I think I can detect Morvan with, Aura Whisper, though.
Oh.
So, I'll just head west and find him, and then... Still need to find... He has a book piece near him, right?
Yep.
We're getting there. I only have a few more of those left to collect. So, several entities over here, probably enemies, given that there's a cluster of them. Serrano will catch up at some point. I'm not concerned. Well, I guess they don't feel like fighting. It's cool with me. Now, I seem to remember Morvan having, like, a wagon also, which should be pretty recognizable.
I mean, I see a wagon.
It has been... Oh, there he is, probably. How many soul husks have I bothered to collect?
Well, look what we have here. Someone with flesh on their bones. Let's just say I sold something to a guy who turned out to work for a whole coven of necromancers. How in the name of Zenithar was I to know the ingredients were phony? Do I look like someone that would double-cross a necromancer? You got it. Horse, wagon...
Yeah, I have no idea how the wagon...
Here without so much as a word.
Yeah. Wagons have souls.
The best traders in High Rock, you know.
I mean, if the
People would
trees were
track
cut
me
down
down just
recently
to
enough.
see what I had for sale. Very funny. And what exactly are you going to pay me with? Take a look around.
I mean, the Ideal Master
Gold
seemed to
doesn't
hoard
exactly
gold,
win
so...
you. I'll tell you, the only thing I see around here in abundance are... Bring me, say...
Oh wow, it's even more than I thought it
25
was.
of them. Odds and ends I've... Tell me what you're looking for, and maybe... No husks, no...
Well, I messed up. He just gives you a totally generic random item. They're under food, right? Soul husk, yeah. So if you're, yeah, if you go near those guys, the Ideal Masters, you can eat this thing to reduce the damage they do. So I guess it's semi-useful. I'll hold on to them, probably. So, we found Morvan's shop, but there's got to be a book piece somewhere around here near him, right?
Yeah, so follow the wall around to the right. I mean, the left. I mean, I guess the right would take you there eventually, but...
I'm following.
And then... Oh, wait a minute. Go back to the wagon.
Sure.
I see something
Oh.
on the barrel.
Unless it's been blind over, look at that.
Fire.
So, now we need to find the road, I guess, which should then lead us... We got the Reaper gem thing, right? And the Keeper.
Yep.
So now we just need the Wrathman, and there's one last page, and also the Reaper.
Not necessarily in that order, but probably in that order.
Yes. Okay, so... it's kind of like a road. It bears a resemblance to a road. It's
Yeah.
probably the road.
It's like a different colored dirt.
This road is leading toward a bunch of undead.
Yeah, I mean, it's probable. We haven't...
They didn't pop up last time I walked through. It's the same spot. These guys are lazy.
Well, you did already kill the Keeper, so I mean, who's gonna get mad at them if they...
Is this kind of a special lever up there? I am pulling that special lever.
Is it red?
Lost!
If I can self-destruct the soul Cairn.
Yeah.
Lightning tractor. Oh, I think I remember vaguely hearing about one of these.
No.
Yeah, like morphs your soldiers into bigger soldiers, which you can then like soul fissure up to be even better.
What?
Yeah, I mean, there's other ways in the game to get plenty of good soul gems, but it is useful. I
Yeah.
had read about that, but just forgotten about it. So sadly, I cannot self-destruct these soul Cairn. The next best thing is to get better gems and souls from them. You know, actually, I'm not sure how in the world you can do soul trapping guys in here, but you totally can. So, I never really questioned that before, but...
Maybe it's just like summoning some souls.
Maybe.
But I guess they can just do somewhere else.
Yes.
Maybe that's all you're doing. You're just picking up the soul and it gets deposited elsewhere. Or, no, are the souls in here the ones who were in the soul realms that were used?
Yes, they stay in the gem until it's used.
Got it. So you soul trap it, goes in the gem, and then once you use it, it just comes right back.
Yes. Which doesn't explain why like they provide a limited amount of fuel, actually, that's like ongoing in weapons until you run them out, and then you can restore them, and who knows. So, I'm following the road.
Alright, so I guess we're just gonna keep going it until you get attacked by a bunch of Rathmen?
Bunch of rat. Oh, because that's probably where the Rathman tome is.
Yeah.
Good guess.
That looks like the keeper, so it's just past that. I'm guessing where all those red dots are.
Seems plausible.
And I see some souls.
So that's 3 of the 10 more than I need. I may do a trade with Morvan just to show how it works. It's not actually useful at all, but I may do it. Just to show everything.
Where'd
All
you
right.
come from?
They literally pop out of the ground right in front of us. Like that line is always dumb and repetitive, but particularly so when we can just like see where they're coming from. Okay, so that's that one taken care of.
So, due north is the next page.
Would that be all 10?
No. That'll be the 9th one.
Oh, the last one's is in the Boneyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a hostile something. Okay, Bone Man.
Now that looks promising.
It does. Quite. Really some... The place is just piled high with treasure, despite the Ideonos is apparently not caring about anything other than souls. So, I've got that one. What else is in this area?
If you head back south to the road, you can follow it.
I think I'm on the road.
Or follow the road south, then turn to your left.
What am I going for at that point?
The Reaper's Lair.
Ah, okay. So you're taking care of everything else in this area?
Looks like it.
Sweet.
Oh, I mean, we haven't talked to Geob yet.
I guess we can save it when we actually have the last page. So I guess this is the right direction? So I have never actually fought the Reaper before. It's a very, very secret enemy because there's no quest, as you've seen. There's no quest talking about these gems that I've been collecting or anything like that. But he's like a secret mini-boss you can find in here. And again, I appreciate them including things like that.
Is it? What year?
You can see a doorway.
I do, yes.
I wonder if it's important.
Probably. I'm going to save here because I don't know how tough the guy actually is, and I don't want to lose all this progress. If I die to him, I'll consider it to be a not quite legitimate death because I won't have known what was even possibly the threat until I got in here. This is like a nice big area with lightning strikes in it. No, for some reason. So Kelsey is immediately creeped out by this place will eat and elsewhere fondue.
Fondue does seem like a good place to go.
So there's this unique special monster called the Reaper. Oh, he can be stunned. That's good to know immediately. He's got a lot of bonemen. That's obnoxious. It sure is dark in here too.
Yeah. It's almost realistic.
Yeah, not quite realistic. It's a little too bright for that, but
I don't know, there's a hole in the ceiling, right?
yeah, it's up to like a dark sky with. Are you stuck? Yes. And she's choosing to go into melee against this guy with like, the big head chopping axe. He doesn't really seem to be that tough, honestly. Now maybe I'm like, speaking a little too soon there, but like so far. You're really just standing, huh? I do think it's cool to fight this executioner kind of guy here, because like the game begins with you near the executors and whatnot. There's like kind of a motif of executioners in different kinds of areas. He's got the hood, he's got the giant battle axe, but here we can finally get back at I have no idea how this Reaper guy would fit into the Elder Scrolls universe. I don't think there's anything like him mentioned ever before in any game whatsoever.
So he's not the Grim?
I mean, I guess he is, but there's no mention of that being like a folklore thing in this universe.
Oh. Maybe.
Oh, he has like this disease spit thing that the guys in the Periat quest have. The Periat, or... I can... Wow, no wonder he sucked. He's fighting with an iron battle axe. Is that it? I do have various light spells, or I can just like see in the dark. But I think Mage Light would be more useful here. Or Candlelight.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yep, easy to get them mixed up. Oh, can I have multiple of these? Yeah. Green slime. Oh, I hope you're not in permacast mode. I guess it's empty. Well,
Way to open the grate.
I don't think so. There's the fragments. There's my candlelight. Perhaps you could look up quickly if there's anything else to do in the Reapers there other than kill the Reaper. I don't feel like I want to miss out on having gone to all this trouble. Meanwhile, I'm going to be enabling and disabling this idiot so that she stops just casting mindlessly and will follow us. Better?
The barrier should be gone now. Let's head back. Relieved. All those things have
There's
been building
little
for
other
a
to do
while.
other than loot
You
the
have no
remains
idea
and
how
exit the
long I
room.
wanted to say
Okay.
that. Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became... I was close with my mother. She just kept feeding me her opinions of
Apparently, you
him,
don't
and
even need to
eventually I
collect
started
the
believing
Reaper
them.
gems to get him.
Really?
Yeah. So if you put some fire runes on the ground near him,
The moment
then his
those
minions
last fall, things
come up
got
from
really
below
icy
and draw him
between
out
them.
into the fight,
They were both drunk with power.
and then you move to the back of the
Pulling in
room and
different
cast
directions.
a
And then
mine
he found that prophecy,
on
and
the large pile of bones.
that was it.
And you put it just slightly above where the bone wall meets the bone floor.
Honestly, it took me up until now to
Then
figure
it
out that my mother was really just as
hypothetically-
bad as he was.
That sounds very
He was
complicated. Like
obsessed
you
with
couldn't really
power.
find it out without
She
knowing
was
that he's
obsessed
already
with
there.
seeing him
Well, I
fail.
mean, it's a bug.
I
It just
suppose.
seemed toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off now.
Okay.
I don't know what it's like. Everything of...
That just
Anyway,
leaves us
we
with
should keep moving.
the Boneyard, right? Until we come back and chat with the radical winged menace. I say that because I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Me either, for sure. I think it's like Jew, but I really don't know. And he's a dark elf, so I really don't care either.
But he's a saint.
To the dark elves, they're the ones that have like these. Well, I guess there's Saint Alessia in the Imperials, but it's totally different. So he's like was sainted by like a collapsing religion of false gods, legalized murder and slavery. So like
Ah,
being replaced by a religion of literal demon worship.
huh. Interesting politics going on in Morrowind.
I will concede they were interesting, just like it was not sympathetic politics. So I think the barrier's down, so we should be able to talk to Valerica, but I feel like we have to go to the Boneyard for some kind of reason. Cows. Well, I'm gonna raid your farm. Sorry, I need these things.
Can you not walk through the grounds?
Apparently not. Pretty substantial, this being ghost thing.
I wonder if my family misses me.
I'm sure they do, man. Sorry about taking your entire crop. It's for a rather pointless cause. I do feel like things like that, like that guy just like farming, they kind of detract from the whole like horror of people being sent here for eternity, because it seems they're just kind of like living an ordinary life almost there, of just like an unpleasant environment, but just like doing routine kinds of labor and daily activities, rather than being some kind of like horrible trap for eternity kind of situation.
See, are you sure page for the last page is inside the Boneyard?
I'm not certain at all. I just recollect that one of them was not retrievable at the very beginning. So we have 1, 2, and they did fail to make this thing be lower in the list. 1, 2, 3. We're missing 4, and that's the Boneyard one, right?
Yeah.
Looks like we have all the others. Okay, great.
I think it is saying that we should follow the outside of the Boneyard wall.
You
Okay.
managed to destroy all 3 keepers? Yes. Please follow me.
I kind of forget how this goes,
Keep
actually.
watch for Durnevere. With the prison's barrier down, he's almost certain to investigate.
I'm trying to follow you. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'll eat another Ellsworth fondue if need be for this dragon fight to speed things up. Another 5 minutes, that should probably suffice. Oh yeah, we go into the Boneyard here. See, he's not really actually flying around up until this moment, then just kind of like appears here. So,
The Elder Scroll is just a bit further.
I'm not sure why like they didn't just swipe the scroll, because like surely even the Ideal Masters
It's to hear something.
could use this kind of like older than the gods power for their own purposes. Okay, so Durnevere, I believe, will raise an endless army of undead around here, which is a nuisance. I forget if he's weak to fire or to ice, but I'm actually no, I did put a perk into my ice, didn't I? Yeah. I'm pretty sure he breathes fire at the very least. My AI allies, unfortunately, are idiots and they will not focus on him. But I will. Hard to check easily, which is the most valuable element here. Let's get the small ones down first. They do roughly equal damage. There's not much point in killing those guys, but if I can get like a little bit less aggro distracting my guys, help. Okay. Oop, here he is. Yep. Here they are. Wow, sure are a lot of them.
Somehow I don't remember them.
I think the last time I was here, just like such a strong character playing on like crafting on that I just didn't care. I just chewed through all of them. But
Yeah, I can see myself doing that at the beginning with the little guys who...
yeah, super armor. And then, oh, jeez. So he's a unique looking dragon with this cool. It's like all creepy and zombie-ish and weird. I'm gonna give a shot to Ice Spike against him. That seems to be worse. We're trying to do Gon Lahas there. That's the infamous Drain Vitality. I quit playing Elder Scrolls Legends a few weeks ago when they nerfed that into the ground. And I'm sure it'll still some kind of play, but that was like a nerf to the deck that I most enjoyed using. Shout Tell Bonnie. The deck that I'd hoped they would add to the game from the beginning. They finally did, and then they made it bad. I've not heard of a truly meta-devastating deck that's been dominating things for like 4 months. Get back in here, Durnevere. Are you gonna fly around forever? Is that really where this fight's gonna go now? Man. Well, I think he's running the skeleton somehow or other. Okay, there he is, there he is. We can get him. We can ground him, well maybe. If we all pile it onto him, we can maybe ground him. Gon Lahas, I believe, will let him actually steal some life, so it's the last thing you want like a dragon to be doing when they're already very, very long, somewhat tedious fights. But I am glad that he's like the first dragon in the universe that knows more than one word, so that's something. Oh, there he goes, resurrecting everybody. Okay, so he actually has to cast a spell to do that. I do like that it's like a boss fight with its unique parameters and odd things going on like that. That's, pretty fun. Having us just fight even more generic undead is less creative than it could have been, but, still, they're doing something. Again, I appreciate the effort when they put it in. No, that's... Wait, you wanted the fractal. Whoa. Oh, he did it, but I think he missed. No, I missed. Silly one. They're all fighting the skeleton, not the oh, there we go. One of them is capable-ish. Oh, he's probably gonna fly over there and raise the dead again. But if I... Can I stun him now? Will that prevent it? Maybe. I'm gonna give it a shot at least. No. Well, he's gonna collapse onto the ground soon. That's something. That looks like ice to me. Okay. So fire was with her. She's just like absurdly tough. Well, I say absurdly, but he's reasonably tough for like a giant monster of that size. It's just annoying to deal with. But that sounds like Don Mahasa there, which I don't want. The last thing I want is this guy getting healed up. Almost got him. We got him. I think you can only loot him if you're really fast. I don't really want to anyway.
Astonishment. But I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon.
You don't get to absorb his soul for... Well, not for any clear reason, actually.
Forgive my astonishment. Volumes written on Durnevere allege
Why would there
that
be
he
any
was
volumes
slain
written about him by anybody?
It appears they were mistaken.
No, he's
Unless
clearly just going to respawn. That's it.
the soul of a dragon is as resilient as its owner's scaly hide. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnevere's physical form while he reconstitutes himself. Minutes, hours. Now let's get
It's
you
like
the Elder
seconds,
Scroll,
actually.
and you can be on your way.
She's leading us to the scroll.
Yes, that's the idea.
What did you want?
This,
Quickly, this way.
I guess I'll loot your fairly well-appointed alchemy lab out here.
What did you
Religious text about the ideal masters introduced in this game, I believe. I'm going to take these books with me. Some of them are interestingly lore. That's just a vampire book. I think I talked about that one. Yeah, maybe we'll read some of those later.
What did you want?
Will you?
I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be
You
doing
definitely
this
couldn't.
alone.
You are nowhere near equal to the task. So, we got that done.
Now that you've retrieved the... I have no choice. If I return to Tamriel,
That doesn't
That
make even the
increases
slightest bit of
everyone's likelihood
sense.
of bringing
We could
the
just all
Cairn
stick
into
together and
situation.
murder him. Leaving you here undefended. I'll say
I
this,
appreciate your concern for me.
but secretly I'm never
But
planning to come
Serana
back
is all
here.
that I care about. You must keep her safe at all
He doesn't need
costs.
to know that.
Remember
I'm just
that Harkon
trying to
is
lull them
not
all to a false security here and kill them all later. Or maybe just leave her to rot.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna kill her, you'd have to
And
come
promise
back.
me
I could just send
keep my
assassins.
daughter safe.
Yeah, but we've seen how ineffective assassins are. If you want a job done right, you've got to do it yourself.
So, return to Tamriel. So, we still have to find the last... Yes.
Yep.
Is on the what, east side of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Somewhere around here I'm going to run into... Where on the east? Like the east, like the total outside area of it? Or...
You know, it just said follow the outside wall, but it might mean the wall between the inside and the outside.
That would explain why I thought you couldn't retrieve all of them until... But maybe I'm wrong about that. So I'll just try to get outside and we'll see what we can find with that.
Yeah, and I have no idea. I've never done the pages before.
I just forget where... Where is the way out? That part shouldn't be hard to find.
Are there any souls inside the Boneyard? Or are they all just kind of wandering outside?
I think they're just wandering outside.
Okay. So it's probably going to be outside then.
That the way out? Yeah. There we go. And there he is. So if you just walk right out, it takes him like only a couple seconds to come back to life.
Stay your weapons. I would speak with you, Quinarin.
This is a stupid thing to say.
Cursed, not dead.
His name means
To
like
exist in
cursed,
this form for eternity.
never dying, I believe.
Trapped between Laas and Enoch. Between life.
Which is odd because I'm sure they wouldn't have a name to begin with. So like, it sounds like dragons' names express their fundamental nature, but I guess he must have changed his name at some point.
I mean, it's like Scar from Lion King.
I believe in civility among
His
seasoned
original name
warriors.
was actually
And I
Top
find
Bear or something.
your
Sounds
ear
so-
worthy of my words.
Yeah, he
My
changed it
claws
to
have
a scar
rendered
to
the flesh
reflect
of
his
innumerable
nature.
foes. But
His
I
nature is
have
having a
never
scar in his
once
face?
been
He was a
felled on the
bravo.
field of battle.
I never did see the movie or read the book or
I
anything.
therefore
You
honor
never saw the
name
movie?
you Quinarin,
I have seen very
or
few Disney
Vanquisher
movies.
in your tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so his original name was Top.
Well, I have to pretend I like this guy now. I guess Hjalti might well say this thinking he gets something out of it, so...
Your words do me great honor. My desire to speak with you was born from the result of our battle.
I do kind of like his voice.
I merely wish to respectfully ask a favor of you.
I'm suspicious.
For countless years I've roamed the Soul Cairn in unintended service to the ideal master.
I don't know what these things are flying around him. Maybe
Before
get close and
this,
check
I
sometime.
roamed the skies above
flies.
Tamriel.
Just like flying
I
around.
desired
Rotting.
Half from the
return
corpse,
there.
yeah.
What would flies be doing in here?
I don't know.
And why would he reconstitute them with him when he...
has taken its toll upon
Maybe
me.
the
I
ideal
share
masters
a
brought him
bond
just to
with
annoy
this
him.
dreaded place.
This whole story is ridiculous. It implies that this place has existed basically since the beginning of time, or close to it,
My
back
strength
when
would
dragons were
begin
around.
to wane until I was no more.
It's not clear how this could happen, because dragons are like, you know, totally immortal unless the
I
Dragonborn
will
takes their
place
soul.
my name with you and grant you the right to call my name from Tamriel. Do me this simple honor, and I will fight at your side as your Graze Mazen, your ally, and teach you my Thum. Trivial in your mind, perhaps. For me, it would mean a
But Hjalti is
great
deeply
deed.
suspicious that this is simply like dark magic that will entrap him in some way,
require
but
an answer,
we'll see.
Quinarin. Simply speak my name to the heavens when you feel the time is right.
He already told me this. He's different responses here to this question depending whether you killed Alduin or not, but he
There
already told me why,
was
so
a
I'm not gonna
time
ask.
when I called Tamriel my home, but those days have long since passed. The Dova roamed the skies, vying for their small slices of territory that resulted in immense and ultimately fatal battle.
No other dragon really talks about this at all.
I was, but unlike some of my brethren, I sought solutions outside the norm in order to maintain my superiority.
Hjalti immediately understands this guy, and so do I.
began to explore what the Dova call Elok Gillan, the ancient forbidden art that you call necromancy. The Ideal Masters assured me that my powers would be unmatched, that I could raise legions of the undead. In return, I was to serve them as a keeper until the
Which
death
again
of
makes
the
it totally
one
clear that,
calls
like,
herself
Serana has been around
America.
since, like, the dawn of time, basically. Which makes no sense whatsoever.
I discovered too late
This is such an
that the
obvious thing for him
Ideal
not to
Masters
grasp.
favored deception over honor, and had no
Maybe he fell in
intention
the
of
trap in the
releasing
beginning
me
before
from
they
my
were well known.
binding.
Maybe. I guess it is at the dawn
They
of time.
had control of my mind, but fortunately they couldn't possess my soul. Free? No. I have been here too long, Quanarin. The soul Cairn has become a part of what I am. I can never
Couldn't you
fully
just
call
be like,
Tamriel my home
spend a
again,
bunch of time on some other planet so they can call that home like happened here?
I only hope that you will allow me the precious moments of time there through your call.
Very well.
The sooner we get the scroll home, the sooner we deal with my father.
And I don't know why we're trying to do that, but sure. We'll pretend it's been the objective the entire time. So it's on the west side wall, right?
East.
East. Okay. He did promise to teach me a shout, so I am tempted. Plus, having a dragon at my beck and call, well, it just sounds too good to be true. But Galty is very suspicious. Perhaps this guy also prefers to deal in deception rather than honor. Alright, so is this it?
Yeah, I might head up those stairs.
There's the random soul.
Must stay away from the keeper.
I'm not sure what the keeper. I guess they
Must stay away from
stick near the barriers and use them to charge it or something for some reason.
Are you alive? What a... Please. End this misery.
Unfortunately, there's no way to do that ever. Ah, here we go. The last page.
Where'd you come from?
Is there somebody here? Oh. I was getting sloppy with that.
Finally being there.
Yes. We still detected Jude, right?
Yep.
Anything else?
One very important thing. We have to leave.
We also have to talk to Morvan Stroud again.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
So if I head due south... Right. Getting sloppy. If I head due south from here, where do I end up?
If you head due south, you'll end up right about where Jude is.
Whatever. Yep.
Lost!
Alright. That's what I'll do then. So, Jude was a character in Morrowind. The first character, in fact, who you meet. And he actually has the same voice actor in this game. He voiced all the Dark Elves in Morrowind. He wasn't anything special. He doesn't really do anything, he just kind of like, tells you to wake up. And then vanishes. But because he was iconic by being the first NPC in the game, they kept bringing him back and bringing him back. So they mentioned him a few times in Oblivion that he had just recently somehow killed all the cliff racers, apparently. He's not making that up. Ah, here he is. Shirtless, just like he was in life.
What do you want? How does anyone...
And he's an idiot, so he's not aware that he's
write
dead.
my opus with all of these rude interruptions? What do I... If I hadn't lost all of the pages...
And scattered them all across the
this
Soul Cairn somehow.
And we wouldn't be having this conversation. Very well. I suppose a moment or two...
I won't keep you from sandpapering your throat for too long.
I am Jib. Some call me Saint Jib. Others call me Jib the Eradicator.
Certainly.
Perhaps
Oh, they don't have the option to say that I have, because he was being talked about in Oblivion, but I must pretend that I wouldn't have heard about this.
I can't say that I'm surprised by your answer. Until I get my second a book. I'd hardly call a 26-volume epic simply a book. Surely you've heard of the rise and fall.
How did you fall? Your story's all about your...
Hero of Morrowind and savior of the Dunmer. Terrible. I was in the midst of writing the second volume, and they just threw me into this prison. It's unfair. That damned
So he was killed in the Oblivion Crisis, which actually contradicts Oblivion. In Oblivion, we were being told very clearly that he was back in Morrowind, but he was apparently in Kvatch and got killed when the city was destroyed, so...
Well, I assume so. I cast a spell at
So he's ignorant enough not to even know what black soul gems are.
Crystal. Next thing I knew, my what? Wait. That means... No. All these wasted months. Or has it been years?
Centuries, like 200 years.
Time has passed. No, my work will never see the light of day. My name will be forgotten. Perhaps.
I don't know why he can't, but...
second volume of my opus. I need the notes from my first volume. Otherwise, when I was tossed in here, I felt myself falling. There were 10 of them in all. Find them for me, please. I beg you. Well, that's a ridiculous question.
He apparently hasn't heard any new news since then.
Traveling through here
You could, of course, be like an elf who's from that time, but whatever.
Has it been that long? Well, it's started.
Everybody should know this. I know.
The Empire. All I heard is that without a separate...
It's very vague and very contradictory like every single Elder Scrolls game. They've never been clear about why the Daedra can only sometimes be summoned and sometimes not. Clearly, Akatosh does a sucky job of keeping them out, but it's not clear what the limits actually are.
I can only assume the gates have been closed. I had just moved from my ancestors.
It's not a continent, it's a
to the
region
continent of
in the center of
the city of Cairn to write my memoirs. And to... Indeed. It was a I took it upon myself to join the cause and fight the Dremor. The reason I'm standing in front of you is only I never knew what became of Kavach.
Kavach was, of course, destroyed almost utterly, but a few civilians survived and were rescued by the hero. So he killed off, and this is just something they did as like a friendly nod to the players of Morrowind. He killed off like the most obnoxious creature in Morrowind, the Cliff Racers. All Morrowind players basically just hated those guys. They were these like pterodactyls that would chase you down and attack you in the countryside. And so they just, had a joke in Oblivion about them having all been eradicated by this guy, Jude, who was also just kind of like a minor joke character.
They used to crisscross the skies over Morrowind like vermin. After I was freed from prison...
He started off in prison just like the main character of Morrowind.
Give something. It became quickly apparent that the best way Indeed I was. The people of Morrowind...
Not that many years. It was done by the end of Oblivion, which was only a few years later.
They took to calling me St. Jib, and then the other names followed. That was a dark time.
We don't really get this kind of background on him until now.
I did a lot of things. Maybe that's why I worked so hard to redeem myself. I murdered others for money. And before you think I belong to...
Skelty very carefully says nothing here about secretive guilds of murder.
I was simply an addict who needed money for skooma. The stuff wasn't cheap. And murder always seemed to be in demand. I was paid to assist.
So suddenly we get all this complicated background of this guy who's already dead, which we had none of in Morrowind.
What I didn't know.
The Morag Tong or the
Morag Tong to kill him.
Wow, I've been here like 24 hours. The Morag Tong are like the Assassin's Guild in Morrowind. They hate and rivals of the Dark Brotherhood, but they basically operate totally legally. Just you're allowed to murder people in Morrowind if you're working for the Morag Tong and have like somebody paying you to do it. Horrible place.
Into a trap and didn't even realize they tried me for murder, threw me on a prison ship, and sent me to the jail in Vivek City.
There we go. I now know that's pronounced Vivek for sure.
Alright.
I've never been sure because Morrowind, of course, is not voiced. So
finally, these pages meant the world to me. Thank you.
He'll give us a copy of the book, I believe.
Oh.
Now, volume 2 begins.
It's also not that interesting, just kind of a little funny, I guess.
Oh, wait a moment. A pristine copy of my first volume. And take this as well. Seeing as St. Jib has ascended...
So it gives you a unique amulet. Alright, now where from here is Morvan's strategy? Mostly just like west, right?
Yep.
If I said west and hit the wall, I'll find him. Okay. So, unique-ish amulet. It boosts your carrying capacity. Is it called Amulet of St. Jube, or is it called Jube's Amulet, or Locket of St. Jube? Okay. So, massive carrying capacity bonus, also a large amount of stamina. Not really useful for my character, but at least, it's large amounts of stats. And you can't normally get carrying capacity amulets from stores. Like, you can get them from turning in Hunting Brew Mead, from that random encounter I've done many times, but typically you only find boots of carrying capacity. So, it does have some utility for non-enchanting characters.
It also had a bit south so you could find the road. Just going straight west would lead you far past him.
I know he's near the gate, right? And there's the gate.
Yeah, he's a little bit to the east of the gate.
Yep, so I'm in the right region now. I just need to close in and find it.
Lost!
they have cleaned this place out pretty well. This might be... Yeah! There we go. So I'll hand in 25 soul husks just to show that he gives you a random item, and then we'll be on our way.
Brought some soul. Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. What, are you kidding me?
I guess this could conceivably be useful. I don't think it can give you any kind of high-level, valuable spell tomes.
I hate to see it go.
Worthless,
but
that's a two-handed
what
thing.
am I going to do with it here anyway?
Okay. So that's basically everything you can do in the Soul Cairn done. Let's get out of here and get back to... well, more Dawnguard, unfortunately, but...
Well, I like the way you're thinking, at least.
Alright, so I've gone through the gate. Now I just need to find that portal up into the sky. Should be around here somewhere. I don't know why I'm bothering to fill those things. I'm not actually planning to use them for anything. Is that... yeah, there we go. The stairs up into the sky. Alright. So, killed a truckload of undead and one dragon, I guess.
Well, that went pretty efficiently, thanks to the help of my Grazemazen here.
We'll just pretend like I always knew where we were and where we were going.
Tremendous help regardless. I could not have done that in less than like 3 hours otherwise.
I don't even want to know how long it's been.
Well, send me any Skyrim questions you may have. If you liked this series, then by all means subscribe, and as always, have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.